Hello, good evening, viewers. Welcome to yet another episode of Have Your Say Club Tata Ted, a show where we interact with esteemed club members to know about them and their interesting life experiences. Our today's guest is quite special. She is a vibrant lady who freely speaks her mind. Her strong personality and empathetic nature brings happiness to the people who are surrounded by her. Please help me in welcoming Ms. Pooja Godara. Welcome, ma'am, to our show, Tata Tet.
Thank you, Amita, and thank you, Vidit and HYS, for giving me this opportunity and such a warm welcome. And thank you for making me feel special as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, when you were introduced to our club, I found your credential and experience quite exuberant, and which was like a wow factor. So, if you could just take us through your corporate journey so far.
Uh, you found it that way because I think, much older than you and have been working for long now. So I started in 2001, just after my MBA, and I had not planned it that way. And at that point in time, I was not too career oriented. That time, the times were like whatever your friend is choosing, you'll do that. Plus, I was going around, so I wanted to buy time for him. So I thought, okay, after graduation, what next? I applied. Like I did my MBA. Like during those MBA years, I realized, and in fact, I've always found some guru somewhere. Like there was a finance professor who pestered me, and he said that if you're not that interested in career, why did you go ahead with it, and why have you taken a seat for someone else and all that. So he really pushed me into it, and when I joined my first job because of that push, and since then I've been working, and I got to know I learned, and I got to know that um, that's how the career progresses. So I joined. First job was with Genpact. Then I moved to American Express. Got an opportunity with ICICI Bank. Worked for 5 years. Learned a lot. And then the longest stint that I've had is with Idea Cellular. Worked there for almost 10 years, and for the past 2 years, I've been working with Avas Financiers.
Great, ma'am. So your journey seems to be quite interesting and exciting as well. Ma'am, for an outsider, corporate life seems to be very glittery, but it is also said that all that glitters is not gold. Is it true?
Uh, in a way, yes, you can say that, but I think like I belong to a business family and an agrarian culture background. So when I started working, there was nobody working in my family. So from that point of view, yes, it was much hectic, and it did give me some kick those days, that you earning your own bread and all that. And plus, there was one point in time wherein actually my grandfather kicked me out of the house because I wasn't agreeing to marry whoever he wanted. So that was also my job was the only option for me to survive. So for a good 2.5 years, my job survived me. So yes, it is, but it is not. It's just another profession. I wouldn't really say that it's really a showbiz kind of a thing or something, because there are a lot of things. What are you doing in a corporate? You're just selling your time. I've worked with so many organizations. It was just that I've sold my time to them. I've worked 8 hours, 12 hours, or whatever. And every day, whenever you come back home, you already have a to-do list for the next day. So you really don't have that kind of a balance. And for women, especially, I would say that we miss so many biological milestones because of this. Running after something. I would call it a virtual thing, because these designations that you get and all whatever you get. So these are all, like, I don't think that I am working and I have some HR designation makes me higher than my mom who's not working or who is a homemaker. So that is, I think, just another profession. There's nothing. And plus, one thing which is really happening these days is that you're getting people like at such young age are getting lifestyle diseases, which ideally should be, after maybe 3 or 4 decades of their age. So it doesn't glitter.
That's true, ma'am, and it's really become difficult, like for the women who pursue her career after the marriage and after living the motherhood. So, ma'am, we have learned that you follow Sadhguru as well. So, what pulled you towards him, and how it is all initiated?
I think it was destined, Amita, because I actually did my Indian engineering way back. It's almost 5 years now, and that time Sadhguru wasn't that popular in northern part of India. Plus, there was no, so much of YouTube and all that presence was also not virtual presence was also not there. So when I did my inner engineering, I solely did for the physiological benefits, and also because I got to know that they teach yoga in 7 days and you don't really need to go every day. So I thought as a working woman, it's much easier option for me to learn and do it on my own. Secondly, I was dealing with a lot of physical stress that time. Like I had my I, I was already 34 when I had my first child, and that was also my gynecologist pushed me into it. And then she said, if you want to have another one, then you don't have much time, you must plan it ASAP. So the very next year, I had my son, and then at the same year, I was involved in a project at office. We were migrating our billing system to a new one. So I had been part of it for the last 3 years, and I was the one who was testing it for the circle and all. So I couldn't have backed out at that point in time. So it was like a really, really hectic time for me, and my shoulder, back, and my right arm used to all the time ache. And I spent 1.5 years actually on a rocking chair at night because my daughter never used to sleep at night on the bed. So I used to be there. And in office, I remember telling people that मुझसे बात मत करो मैं 1.5 साल से सोई नहीं हूँ. So I was going through a lot of physical stress that time, and my next door neighbor told me about this program, and I joined. But these 7 days, those 7 classes, I joined with a blank mind. Actually, blank state. There was no perception, no expectation, nothing. I just wanted to learn something which would help me survive those days. So, but those 7 days, every day, after the class, they would tell us be aware of this fact for 24 hours and be a little more conscious and all. So by the time the seventh day came, something really moved inside me, and I felt some connection somewhere. I don't know what it was. And then I continued the practice, and I volunteered every time, every possible opportunity that I got. And it kept on growing. And for Sadhguru, actually, I saw him the first time in the class itself. I never knew that he is the one. But after association of so many years, some things I know, integrity. I know that it's all integrity. It's not about money. So many other things. And one, if I'm supposed to answer one thing that I learned, or that so it is something that you should live life in the existential life, not something which is in your mind. Like we live life, how do we live? Mostly what do? We judge ourselves by our intentions, and the other by their action. So this thing is maybe it causes so many tensions and so many problems everywhere. So if you really see and perceive what it is and just live it, it's so much simpler that way.
That's true, ma'am. And ma'am, I understanding maintaining work-life balance in a corporate sector, it is quite challenging. But the best part about you is that you have discovered yourself during this period, and you found source of happiness and success, source of happiness and inspiration to live a blissful life. So, ma'am, what is this? You talking about this inner engineering? What is this inner engineering?
See, Amita, inner engineering basically is that it's a yogic kriya. It's a yogic practice. So it's part of Hatha Yoga. And and her means sun and the moon. So basically, this yoga practice makes you balanced with the cosmos and inside. So your energies are in harmony within you as well as outside, with the outside environment. So it's a cleansing process. And basically life is joyful. Basically every human being is what do we call blissful. But it is only that we keep on adding layers and layers and layers of things on us that we forget our basic nature. And inner engineering, in one line, if we need to define it, is basically how to manage your mind and body, so that blissfulness is the background, and you play anything on it. So whatever comes, because as we say, let life happen. So you should not avoid life, and you should not avoid कि मुझे ये दुख ना हो जाए, वो दुख ना हो जाए, but you must be prepared for life and let it happen, and just see that, you know, are you graceful, are you handling it gracefully, are you strong enough to, you know, face it. And there's a certain level you don't stoop down below that as a human being. So it basically teaches you how to be human.
Right. So, like, to my understanding, inner engineering helps you in aligning your mind in a way it aligns your life.
Yes, it's basically cleansing your mind, cleansing your body energies, and valuing your body.
Great, ma'am. So, is inner engineering is helping you in person or in your professional life as well, and how?
Oh, immensely, actually immensely, and I never even realized. But when I look back, a lot of things have happened. Like as I told you, that my arm and my back used to hurt. But after 3 months of practice, it automatically went off. No physiotherapy, nothing. I didn't do anything after inner engineering. So it went off on its own. So I knew physically it is working. Then I could feel my energy levels go a little, you know, higher. I could manage things. Otherwise, earlier, like going to work was a big task, and coming back and doing your household things was a big task. Everything seemed to be like, you know, really energy consuming. But then slowly I could deal with everything. And my body, then my sleep cycles went down. I found more time within the day. Plus there were so many things which I left after school life, you know, or the corporate life, your hobbies and everything just go somewhere else. So I found time for everything, and slowly the balance started coming. And then there, inner engineering, some principles are really nice. Like they, one is that this moment is inevitable, so you face it and you accept it as it is. So you get a lot of freedom to decide what next. Because there was a point in time when I did my inner engineering, I was all the time guilt laden. If I was at home, I was thinking that I'm not being a good employee, my team is struggling, I'm sitting here and, you know, being a mother dairy, just changing nappies and feeding. So that was, it used to be guilt laden that time. And when I went to work, so that I used to think, oh, I've left two little kids behind, and plus no other woman, or even for that matter, a male member used to work in my family. So everyone else used to feel, you know, make me feel as if my children are orphan or something. You know, they don't have a mom type. So as if bichari bina maa ke bacche, bina maa ke bacche. So I used to feel very bad about it. But dheere dheere that guilt also went, and I knew that what is me time important for me, what time, you know, at times my office is important. So slowly I think the sense and sensibility both came in, and I started feeling gratitude towards so many things. I really felt gratitude towards my career, that, you know, I had something, I'm employed. Similarly, I was thankful for my children. So those things which were really a blessing, I was taking them as a, you know, a guilt prone thing. So that completely changed my perspective.
Great, ma'am, and I'm sure this will definitely going to help our viewers who I'm sure every woman or I think every person is looking for something like this, and inner engineering could help them to come out whatever they are doing it or whatever the problem they are facing it, or if they want to live a blissful and happy life like you are living it. So,
Yeah, I
ma'am,
really wish that everyone should face it actually.
great, ma'am. So, ma'am, what is this spirituality? What is this like? People talk about spiritualism, spirituality. So, how you define it?
Spirituality, I'm actually too, maybe, you know, naive, or I'm not that, I haven't really achieved anything on in that path right now, so I can't really say. However, my take on spirituality will be something that, you know, I'm responsible means that my resources might be limited, but my intentions are not limited. So if there's something which is not right, or there's something which needs to be done, I am responsible for, as a human being, for doing it. So which means that I should do, you know, what I can do. So I think that what I cannot do is fine, but if I can do something and I'm not doing it, that's a disaster. So spirituality for me is something that, you know, whatever you can do for anybody or any life around you, you must do that. And that's how, because I'm not, there's nothing called as individual. I'm not surviving individually. Had I been an individual, I wouldn't have waited for Amita to connect to me and listen to me. So there's nothing called as individuality. So when I am not individual, I'm part of this cosmos. I must help the cosmos become positive. So spirituality for me is this.
Ma'am, how beautifully you have created with your understanding the meaning of spiritualism. And that's the best way, I feel, that's the best way to connect yourself with something. Great, ma'am. So, ma'am, you are into reading, that we all know. So, what are you reading these days?
Amita, I actually have a very weird habit that I read 4 5 books at a time. And how do I do that? That I place my books, whatever I'm reading right now, at various corners. For example, I have a book at my bedside table. I have a book at my workstation. I have a book in my handbag. I have a book near the TV uh, stand. So I have a book everywhere in the house and wherever usually I am. I spend time. I have a book in my car. If somebody is driving me, I use that time to read. So I read 4 5 books at a time. So at the moment, on my bedside table, I am reading Crash. It is by Mr. R. Gopalakrishnan. So this book talks of entry and exit of CEOs in various industries. And another book that I'm reading at my office is What the CEO Really Wants from You. So that's also from the same author, R. Gopalakrishnan. And then one book that I'm reading is by Murakami. So that's when I'm close to my TV, I read that book. And another book I just started is by Napoleon Hill, 16 lessons in success. I mean, I'll just read the entire title. Is the law of success in 16 lessons.
Great.
So, so I'm reading these right now.
So that means that you are not reading books, you are living with the books.
Yes, actually I am, and I tell my husband that the way consciously I am trying to be aware of things. I think I'll be able to clear my karmic account in this life itself, but I'll come back again because there'll be some books left that I would want to read.
That's great, ma'am. So, ma'am, any message to our viewers?
Message. Well, I would really humbly put that we should value life and we should be willing. We should be willing and a big yes to life. So I would urge everybody that we should take care of this body because that's the only place we live in, and that's the only way we can experience life. And once it is gone, it is gone. Like so. So when we go to bed with such gratitude and such fulfillment that you live your life the way you wanted to. And next morning, if we get up and God allows us another day in life, so we should get up with that zing and that enthusiasm that we need to pursue or go through life as a human being should. So I would urge everybody to do inner engineering, live their lives joyfully, and just enjoy because life is too short, shorter than we think.
Beautiful thought, ma'am. Thank you so much, Pooja, ma'am, for being on our show.
Thank you, and maybe I've taken too long for answering certain questions, so thank you for bearing with me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you, viewers, for watching your show, Tata Te on Have Your Say. We'll meet next Thursday with another interesting guest. Till then, take care, stay home, stay safe. This is your host, Amita Shekhawat, signing off.